All right, welcome everybody. This is Dawn's Intermediate Advanced Friday class, and we are doing Sleigh Ride today. And Sleigh Ride now, some of you may have it in the key of F. I actually learned it in the key of F, but the new version is a four-pager written in the key of G.
Right.
So, yeah, so I made a copy of it in the key of G, and that's the one we're actually going to learn. But I'll tell you what, once you learn it in one key, it's kind of hard to relearn it in another key. And they've got some extraneous things here, meaning that I'm actually going to have you throw some chords away. Woohoo! And I'm going to have you cross out some notes and say, don't even bother with them. So it can make it a little easier. This is a tough song.
You
Yeah,
think?
you think?
Very tough song.
This is a tough song. When I first started with Fletcher Music Centers, that was almost 24 years ago now. Wow. Wow. Um, this was one of the songs I really wanted to learn how to play. So I worked in a mall, and in the evenings when I had to be at the store and nobody was coming in and we didn't close till 9, I would sit and I would play this song over and over and over and over and over until my fingers got it. And that's pretty much the only way to make this song work. So we're going to talk about how to practice Sleigh Ride, not how to memorize it, because you don't have to, but how to get your fingers to feel it so that you don't have to worry too much about it when you do decide you want to play it. It's a hard song. It's a very difficult song because of the speed.
Okay.
All right? Okay. I am going to play it for you, but I'm going to play it for you in the key of F, okay? Because that's the one that I actually can do. And then when I teach it, I will teach it in the key of G so that everybody has the right one, okay? Because I'm assuming that everybody has that book 215, the newer version. It is in the key of G.
I know.
Yep. Okay, so mute yourselves, and I am going to play Sleigh Ride, but I'm going to play it in the key of F. So if it's looking like my fingers are flying all over, it's because this is the one I practiced over and over and over and over again.
Dawn, if you play in the key of F but transpose it to G, then it would sound like when we played
Sure
in G.
it would, yeah, but it's not going to help you with chords.
No, but it would, no.
It's not going to help you with the chords or the fingering because it is a completely different set of fingering for the key of G, which is why I struggled with it playing in the key of G.
Yeah, those sharps were a killer.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that we have
And there's a lot of them.
everybody. I'm just waiting to see if there's anybody that still needs to come in the
You
room.
gotta mute me. Oh, you did.
Not up to the top. Okay, all right. So we're going to do Sleigh Ride. Now it comes up at 112, and it comes up to the sleigh bells background, which is underneath your Broadway. And so here we go with Sleigh Ride in the key of F. Okay.
It was
That's the
outstanding, Dawn.
of F. Now that's the one. That is the one that I absolutely sat and practiced and practiced and practiced. So my fingers just kind of know where they're going, and I just follow the music so that it keeps me in my place. And because I only play it at Christmas time, I forget some of the chords every now and then. But
Oh, maybe by next Christmas we can have it done.
yes, you've got an entire year now to
Yeah,
learn Sleigh
right.
Ride. Yep.
So
Well,
that's our penance, once a day for all year.
first of all, I'm going to tell you, lower the tempo. Make it
Oh,
slower. You got to make it slower so that your fingers actually know where they are going. So what do we know about Sleigh Ride? What do we know? It's a light orchestral standard by Leroy Anderson. And it was written between the years of 1946 and 1948. So this is not one of those that was written on the back of a cocktail napkin while they were playing billiards. Okay, so the original recordings were instrumental versions, and the lyrics weren't added until 1950, and the lyrics were added by Mitchell Parrish. The first recorded version was by Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops. Some of you have probably heard of them. In
Mm-hmm.
1949. And it became a hit record, and it became one of the signature songs of the Boston Pops. The 45 RPM version was originally issued on red vinyl. So if anybody has a 45 of the Boston Pops, they'll find that it's a red record. It's red vinyl. The first vocal version was actually done by the Andrews Sisters.
Huh.
Okay, so there's your trivia for the day. The word Christmas is nowhere in the song. If you listen to Sleigh Bells or Sleigh Ride, the word Christmas is nowhere in the song. So it's actually a winter song, but it always gets played at Christmas. Interesting, huh? The most popular vocal version, the one that we hear on the radio, is Johnny Mathis. Okay, so when you hear it on the radio, that's what you're hearing. But it's also been done by Ella Fitzgerald, the Carpenters did a version, Amy Grant did a version, and Gwen Stefani. Some of you probably know Gwen Stefani from The Voice. If you've been watching The Voice, she's one of the coaches. But I remember when she was actually when she was singing, because I was on stage doing some of her stuff.
I like her.
Yep, she's got some
Dawn,
pretty.
what rhythm did you use?
That was Sleigh Bells. That
Under
comes up
Broadway.
under Broadway. Now on the Rialto, just go. You've got Sleigh Bells. It is there. It is there. So if you go to song setup, it should come up. And the Rialto, I believe. Well, I'm not sure which background. I think it is under Broadway, under full band. And it just lists them all.
Okay.
But you do have it, so no worries. It is there.
Just go to Broadway.
Now, what happens if you have a smaller instrument? Okay, like a Freedom 3 or an Easy 10.
Straight up.
Yeah, what? Trade up? Well, you guys are rowdy today. Okay, if you're on a Freedom 3 or an Easy, there are some backgrounds that will work. Now, again, I recommend everybody put the tempo down to about 100, and 100 is not going to be a good practice tempo. 100 should be the one you strive to play. I played that at 112, and that was a little fast. For the Freedom, the traditional march. Okay, now it's not going to sound good if you just leave it on the style setup, because it's going to give you marching band instruments. We're going to talk about the instruments in just a minute. Or try your gospel joyful, the joyful one under gospel. Or your rock 8-beat. I know those are some that you wouldn't even think of. Also the same with the easies. If you've got an easy 4, an easy 3, an easy 10, go to your traditional full band. Whoop, here comes Claire. Claire coming in. Oh, I can't, where's my arrow? There she comes. Traditional full band, which again is your march or your polka, gospel full band, or rock full band. Now, you're going to absolutely want to change the sounds, because you're going to want something that sounds like that. The closest you're going to get, and it actually sounds really good, is to combine strings. Remember, all your sounds are on this side. They're all on the right-hand side. You want to do vibes and strings. Vibes and strings. And I actually liked it with no harmony. The harmony made it a little muddy on the easy 4 this morning, but you can try the harmony, but when your fingers are moving that fast, sometimes the harmony can get in the way. So vibes and strings, and I would use that for all of the ones that I just listed from the smaller instruments.
How about the lower?
I didn't even try the lower because you normally don't even have a chance to get to the lower. So whatever you feel like putting down there is going to be fine.
Okay.
A horn, I think. Oh, this is actually like a flute. Sounds like there's a jazz flute in there, a couple of other things. Sounds like a flute. But I've heard it done with horns as well, or pianos. Pianos, try your pianos. Now, piano is a very unforgiving instrument.
And talk about the ensemble, what do you use for a background?
For what?
The background bands, like the ensemble, what do you set that at?
Oh, just throw your ensemble,
rhythm.
anything you want. Anything you want. Yeah, strings is going to be fine. Organ's going to be fine. For your lower chord.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, anything you want to put in there is going to be fine to fill it out and make it nice and smooth. You may also want to come over to your style and bring it down just a bit so the ensemble really doesn't even matter if you have it on or not, because you don't want all the marching band people to be doing their thing. You want it to come down to about half. Same thing with the gospel. Bring the style down to about half, and it's going to make it sound a little bit nicer. You want the beat is what you're looking for.
If you've got sleigh bells, it's the best.
If you've got sleigh bells, that's the one to be practicing on.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's so good.
Yep, it is. It is so good. All right, now, in the key of G. Oh, my goodness, this silly song in the key of G. If you notice, the first 4 chords are actually repeating throughout the song. That's what you want to practice your left hand with. All right? So I'm going to lower this at least down to 100. Now let's lower it down to 80. If you practice it at 80 or even slower, I think that's how you're going to really get to have this work for you. But if you look at your chords, it's G. Oh, stop it. I don't need an intro. G, E minor, A minor, D7. So that's the same chord pattern as C, A minor, D minor, G7 that we've used in 100 different songs. It's just that when it's in this key, it's a lot harder for us to do it because it's awkward. It's very awkward. So you want to practice that first and make sure your fingers are getting good at that. 2, 3, 4. G, E minor, A minor, D7. And just do that over and over again. E minor, A minor, D7. G, E minor, A minor, D7. Now, when you get to the bottom of the first page, they just have a G. If you want, go ahead and put in an E minor in beat 3 of the last measure on the first page to continue with that chord pattern. Sometimes once your fingers get moving, they don't want to stop. So over the E, da 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 da, put that E minor, beat 3. And then on the top of the second page, over the F, put an A minor. Put an A minor, because that's going to let you continue with that chord pattern. G, E minor, A minor, and you can actually do a D7 there if you want. That's fine. But you can see how that pattern keeps continuing. G, E minor, line 2, A minor, D7. G, E minor, A minor, D7. G, E minor, A minor, D. You could actually put a D7 there too. It doesn't matter. Okay? And then that G, right after where it says to coda, just leave it on that G and do a fill-in. Okay, so that whole first part of the song, that's the first part of the song that you're actually going to work on. But you've got to get that left hand going in those chords, or else it's not going to work. That's got to be so automatic that you don't think about it. So you can go ahead and sing the song in your head while you're playing those chords, G, E minor, A minor, D7, G, E minor, A minor, D7. And just keep doing that until you don't really have to think about it. Okay, that's the best advice I can give you for any song, actually, but especially when it's a song that goes this quickly and it's in a key that we don't usually play. For some reason, Christmas songs, they do that a lot. B flat, the key of E flat, they do that. They like to do that. For this song, yes, you're going to have a lot of sharps. Let's go to the bottom of page 2 for the chords. You have a C sharp minor. Oh my, that's a weird one. C sharp minor is C sharp and E. Remember, your chords are all, the minor chords are always the letter of the chord plus 3, and you have to count the black ones too. So C sharp minor is C sharp and E. Go ahead and write that in. The next F sharp, the last chord that's on the page, cross it out and throw it away. You do not need that chord, and as a matter of fact, it's not in the original music. So go ahead and throw that chord away.
Dawn, the line before that on the 1, 2, 3, fourth line where the coda is, did you say just play the G there all the way through?
Yep, just play the G, and you can put in all kinds of FX. You know, use your fill-ins
Okay.
or this. That's always fun to use too. No, the C sharp minor, play the C sharp minor for the whole measure. Take that F sharp and throw it away. Throw it out. White it out. Cross it out. Get rid of it. You don't need it, and it's going to help your playing. Now let's go to the top of the next page. That C sharp minor is still there. You can either cross it out because you're still on it. This next F sharp you do want to play. Okay? You do want to play.
Not an F sharp 7?
You can play the F sharp 7 if you want. The
Okay.
F sharp 7 is E and F sharp. E and F sharp. But don't make it hard on yourself because these are chords we don't see very often. We don't see all these sharp chords. The B chord is going to be just your thumb on B. Now you're going to go back and play that same pattern again. C sharp minor, we're in line 2 right now of the 3rd page. C sharp minor is good for the whole measure. Take that F sharp overriding and throw it away. Cross it out, white it out, get rid of it. You don't need it. Your fingers will thank you.
Yes.
The 3rd line, there you are. You're still on C sharp minor. You can either cross that out. Oh, here comes Pam. You can either throw it out or just leave it there because you're already on it. Do play the F sharp in line 3. Do play that. Or an F sharp 7, which is E and F sharp. Remember the rule for 7s is the letter minus 2. So E and F sharp. And we don't play those chords very much, so that's why those are hard. And then your thumb goes up on the B. And that's the next section that you're going to learn. So you're going to take this whole song apart in little sections. Now the next section you're going to learn is the Giddy Up, Giddy Up. B minor, we're in line 4. B minor is good for the whole measure. Take that E or E7 and throw it away. You do not need it. B minor, by the way, is D and B. Dogs and butterflies. It's good for the whole measure, and it's good for the first half of the next measure. So you can either cross that one out because you're already on it, or just leave it there because you know where your fingers are. And then do play the E over the word grand, and you may play the E7, which is D and E. And then you're going to A. Just hit A with your thumb. Now the A minor at the top of the page, that goes for 1.5 lines. And that's a good thing, so you don't have to add any more chords. That's it for chord changes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to learn the song in sections. This is a hard song. It's very hard. All right, let's
Dawn?
Yeah.
Excuse me. When you hit that A minor, when you play that little riff right through there, the chord kind of sounds strange. So what I did after I hit the A minor to get the tone, then I just hit a no chord.
Yes.
I just played the notes by themselves.
I actually like to do that
Sounds
too.
better. Yeah.
Where did you put the no chord?
Right after you play the A minor.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's at the top of the page.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Where
so
it
when
says,
you're playing this part, you can actually play that on a no chord and be absolutely fine.
so where do you put the note chord in? You
Right
said
after you
after.
play the A minor, then hit a
Okay,
no chord.
all right. So above the word we're, you put in no chord.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, is that
Yep.
what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then how long do you play the note chord?
Until you get to the first ending.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you'd be playing all those notes with no chord, which means you really better know them well because those are going to be heard.
Mhm.
See, that's another section you're going to learn. So we're going to take the song completely apart in sections.
God bless you.
Okay. Ron in Youngstown, I'm looking at your chat and it says 33 degrees and snow. Well, I had 34 degrees and frost in Florida this morning. So,
Mm,
yep.
I was in bed. I don't know. I didn't get up till 9:30. I haven't opened the door yet.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad thing. It's too cold to be outside. All right. Now let's go back to our right hand. Again, I'm going to take some notes and throw them out to make it easier for you. Let's do some fingering.
Okay.
D4, 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 D4. I guess you could do a 3. You could actually do a 3. All right, I'm going to give you 2 sets of fingers here. D4, 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 E5, D4, B2, G1. Or you could have done 3, 3, 3, because the 4th finger is sometimes kind of weak. You could have done 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then just follow through. E4, D3, B2, G1. Whichever one works the best for you. The next line, A3, B4, A3. F sharp 2, E1, D2 with a circle. I have a different set of fingering as well, but let's just do that one. Now, you see all those extraneous notes that are all 8th notes? Cross them out and throw them away. You don't need them.
You mean under the E minor?
Yep. You're going to play the
Throw
E
'em.
minor, but you're going to skip all those notes.
Take them all out.
Take them out. Throw them
What
away.
about the DE before the E minor?
No, the D you need because you know why you need that?
Yeah,
Oh, the
so
DE. Yeah, no, you need to throw the DE out. This low D you need because there's a lyric underneath it. If you've
so
got
you're just holding that
yep,
D?
you're just holding the D.
Okay.
Yep. Skip
So
that
just-
whole, all that nonsense. You don't need it. Now, if you feel like trying it, be my guest.
Hmm.
And then the first note on page, on the next line, cross that out too.
Okay.
Throw it away. You don't need it. If it's not on top of a lyric, you don't need it. The
So in
song's
line
hard
2,
enough.
in line 2, where you said cross out all those extra notes, so you would hold that D like
Yeah.
a whole note.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just hold the D. Yep. Make
Okay.
it easy. Let's go to line 3. The first note you're going to play is the E. Come on. E1, F sharp 2, A3, D4, E5, D4, B2, A1, G2 with a circle. Next line, A3, A3, B4, A3, G2, E1, G2. Now, the notes that are there with no lyrics, you may throw those away. You might like them because they're actually sound pretty cool. So they're optional notes. You can play them or not. And it would be D1, E2, D1, Top of the second page, F3. And again, those 4 notes, because there's no lyrics, are optional. You don't need them.
Is that F optional or you put it?
The F is optional, correct.
Okay.
But it would be a 3 if you're going to play it.
Okay.
Then put a
But you
check
still
mark.
play the chords, right?
You still play the chords, yes. D4, 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 D4. Let's make it a 3. It's easier. I think 3. Either way, D4, 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 D4. It's the same as what we did on the first line. E5, D4, B2, G1, or if the forefinger is a very weak finger, you'd rather use a 3, do D3, 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 E4, D3, and then the B2, G1. So you have to play around with it and get something comfortable, and the key is being consistent. Every time you play that phrase, use the same fingering. That's the key. Line 2, A3, B4, A3, F sharp 2, E1, D2 with the circle. Guess what you can do with all the rest of the notes in that line?
Wow.
Throw them out. Don't need them. There's no lyrics under them. Throw them away. Why get your fingers all tangled up if you don't have to? And the first line, the first note of the next line, you can also throw that away. There's no lyrics. Your fill-in works perfect for that. So why get your fingers all caught up in it? Don't need it. Line 3, we're going to start with the E. E1, F sharp 2, A3,
Dawn,
D4.
may I ask you to start over? I was
Yes.
somewhere else. Okay. It's
Yeah.
on E.
Third line on
Uh-huh.
E. The E is 1,
Okay.
F sharp 2,
Okay.
A3, second measure G, D4, E5, D4, B2, A1, G2 with a circle, cross it over. Next line, A3, A3, B4, A3, G2, E1, G2. All those other notes, you can play them if you want. It's just running up the scale. But if you don't feel like playing them, you may cross them out. I did put parentheses around them. They're not that difficult, and you just run your fingers up a scale. 1, 2, 3, tuck, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Or skip them and just use a
Can you
fill-in.
do a glissando there too?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Do a glissando. Why
A
not?
glissando up to the F sharp?
No, up to the G, because you're going
to-
to the G.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right? You're going up to the G.
Mm-hmm.
I just put parentheses around them, meaning that you can play them if you want. They're not that difficult, but I like the idea of a glissando. Good call. Good call. Now that's the end of the first section. That section is hard.
Yes.
Yes. So when you play it, keep it at about 80 at least, or you can go even slower. Yeah, see, I'm used to, my fingers are used to going other places. Outside. And just practice that section. And you notice my left hand just kept doing the same thing over and over and over. So make sure you've got that left hand in a pattern before you really start going. G, E minor, A minor, D7. G, E minor, and you can add that finger. G, E minor, then go to the A minor, D7. You just the D7, you just have to pick up the thumb. Okay?
Can you do the A minor 7 for the A minor?
Probably, yeah. I don't know why you'd want to add another finger. Yeah, that would be fine.
It just bounces real nice. That's why.
Yeah. If your fingers go there, an A minor 7 before the D7 is okay. It's okay. Yep. Yep. This is a tough song. It is.
It's all
I
right.
don't know. Those of you who saw Carrie play, we did the concert on the Prestige Plus and the Imperial on Tuesday. See, that got my week all messed up. And
If you do this song at least a couple times a week, you will never get Alzheimer's.
Yeah, this is true. He did a very nice job on that. He really
Yeah.
did. He played a nice version of Sleigh Ride. Added all
Really
kinds
makes
of
you
extras.
work and think. Use your brain.
Yeah,
You
no,
will
this
drink
is,
a
this
lot.
is good.
Maybe
If you
Maybe
only get
it
those,
help.
if you only get those first 2 pages, people are going to think you're a genius. Okay?
Mhm.
If they only get those first 2 pages, because the next section, the Giddy Up section, let's start with fingering on that. Okay, page 2, bottom line, D sharp 1. Okay, I'm breaking a rule here, but it's actually easier when you're going fast. D sharp 1, E2, B5. D sharp 1, E2, B5. D sharp 1, E2, then you go to the next page, B5. Now, when you get there, you still have to go higher, but you do have a comma, so you're going to take a breath, which means put a little check mark. Whatever 2 fingers work for the C sharp and the A sharp. I used 4 and 2. Or 4, 3. You're kind of bouncing on it anyway. So you're kind of giving it a little puff of air almost in between them all. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at the show. B5, A sharp 4, F sharp 2, D sharp 1, G sharp 3. There's a lot of sharps. We're not used to reading sharps.
Mhm.
So you might just want to practice that line right there until your fingers get comfortable on those keys. All right, the second line, G sharp is 3. Let's go to We're Riding, A sharp 4, G sharp 3, E2, C sharp 1, E2, G sharp 3, B5. A sharp can be 3 or 4, whichever one bounces there first. C sharp 5. F sharp 1. Now, what are you going to do with those other notes?
Oh, toss them out.
Well, you can put them in parentheses if you want to play them. Dum 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 dum. Go ahead and play them, but they're not necessary. If
What
you're
fingers
bored,
have you tried it?
you can play it if you want, whatever fingers you want.
Oh, well,
3 and 2 work pretty well.
okay.
Okay, let's do the Giddy Ups on line 4. C sharp 1, D2, A5, C sharp 1, D2, A5, C sharp 1, D2, A5, check mark. It's grand can be either a B5 G sharp 3 or a B4 G sharp 2, whichever fingers bounce on it first. Okay, now that's almost the same, it's the same finger pattern that we just did for Giddy Up on page 2, where we were doing the D sharp EB. This is the same finger pattern. We're just down a key.
Oh, yeah.
Just your last 2 fingers are going to be a little different.
So that was 5-3.
5-3 or 4-2 on the B and the G
Yeah.
sharp, whichever fingers bounce there first. Yep.
Okay.
But if you get that section right there, you need to practice each section by itself.
Daun, On that last line above the B, at the B minor, where above the word yup.
Yes.
That A, is that a 5, did you say?
That's a 5, yes.
And then your B, so then if your B that next to it over its is a 5, you're jumping with the same finger.
Yes, you can. Yeah. I
you
actually
could
like the 4 and the 2 better because of
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
again, put a check mark after yap.
Okay.
Put a check mark after yap. Your giddy yaps are the phrase. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up.
Okay.
It's grand. The it's grand is a whole separate phrase. So it's okay. It's not part of that same phrase where you don't want to do a 5, 5, 5, pinky, pinky, poke, poke. So yeah, it's almost easier to do a 5 and then bounce your hand to 2 other fingers, 4 and 2.
Okay.
But 5 and 3 also work. Like I said, whichever ones get there first.
Just
holding your hand would be A5, G sharp 4, E2, C sharp 1, and at the top of the 4th page, F sharp 3. And then the next section, I would work it by itself. Because that, again, you're going to have to do some bouncing where you go, oops, that kind of breaks Dawn's rules. Yeah, but we're bouncing, and there really isn't much of a choice. There really isn't much of a choice. Let's do fingering there. A5, A3, D2, low A1.
Say that again, please, Dawn. It's no chord and
gliding. A5, E3, D2, low A1.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Then the second line is D2, E3, A5, E3, D2, A1, D2, E3, A5, check mark, that's the one, D5, A3, or whichever finger gets there first. There's another way to do it, but then you still have to do a jump. You still, but try different fingering there. See which one works. You're going to have to make a jump, unless you have the world's longest fingers, where you can do an A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up the line. I don't know anybody who can do that. Then do an A3 at the end of that line, and a low D1 in the first ending. Then the D for our cheeks are, those are your pickup notes to go all the way back to the beginning. If you did them as 4s, make them 4s. If you played them as 3s, make them 3s. The second ending, same thing. The D's are 4s unless you made them 3s at the beginning. And then you have the coda, which is a G1. Then if you want to play, again, you could do a G, you could do a glissando and keep it easy, or you could actually run your fingers up the scale. And those numbers would be G1, A2, B3, C1, circle it, you're tucking it under, D2, E3, F sharp 4, G5, low G1.
Was C on that last line?
The C is a 1, and it's got a circle around it because you have to tuck it under right there.
Right.
So that second section, if you're starting, now you also have to watch, where's your silly sign? Back at the beginning. Where's your 2 coda sign? Lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you, and you're just ending it. Basically, they had extra room here, so they repeated what was already here. You can just end it before you get to the Giddy Ups. So the Giddy Ups you're only going to play, I think you play those twice.
Twice.
Good. Play it slow. Just play it that slow. Absolutely. I'm at 80 playing it just that slow.
Mm-hmm.
Till your fingers get comfortable, and do each section at a time. And then just do it over and over and over again until your fingers start to go. And then you can keep making it a little faster, a little faster, a little faster.
Dawn, could you go over line 1 on page 1, please?
Yes. Line 1 on page 1. All right. The D's, I'm going to give you 2 different fingerings. Use the one that's the easiest for you. D40, 40, 44. E5. D4. B2. G1. Or you could have done D3, 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 D3. E4. D3. Then do the B2 and the G1.
Okay, so the B is a 2
Correct.
in either way. I got you.
Correct. Yep.
I got you. Good. Thank you.
Yep. But if you throw those extraneous notes away, you're going to find, oh, now the song is actually doable. And just take each section apart. But it's the chords that actually, once you get your fingers on those chords, they are awkward. We're not used to playing in this key. And we're certainly not used to playing in this key this quickly. So make sure that you get that pattern. G, E minor, A minor, D7. And just keep doing that over and over again. You can even be watching TV and play them fast. G, E minor, A minor, D7. Watch TV and just keep doing that until your fingers get it. And you can have your organ off and just be doing this. That's the best way. It's called muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Muscle memory. Your fingers will get it once you continue to do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. It's the same as when you're golfing. If you keep practicing the same golf swing, if you have everything in the right position every single time, you'll have a consistent golf swing. Yeah, right. But that's the best analogy I can give you, is that your muscles will remember where they were. So then this hand, same thing with this hand now. You want this hand to also have muscle memory in this song, because you have these phrases that repeat. So you want to make sure that you just do it. If you just repeat that phrase over and over and over again until your fingers get it. This is a tough song. Whoever decided they wanted to play this song, kudos to you. This is hard. But it is also,
I wanted to play it, but I want to play it at home for me for a year, and then I'll play for you next year.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, and I'll just record you playing it and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
great.
your fault, Barbie.
It's great for these fingers to keep
I
them
know.
moving.
It is. It really
Songs like
is.
this keep us from getting arthritis.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I've been on it a couple hours and I'm still
Yep.
kind of tough with it.
It's a tough one, but just that's the trick. That is absolutely the trick, is over and over and over and over and over and over.
You know, to me, when I really want to learn something, I really have to do my right hand many times and then my left hand by itself, and then put it together.
That's
Yes.
the best way to do it. It's the way I always do it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's-
no.
that's
It's the only
trick.
way that really works.
That is absolutely the
And
trick.
you don't want to do that. You want to put it together right away, but it's better if you do it separately and
Separate. Yep.
then
Yep.
put it together.
And then
put
by
it
the time
together
you're done, you
slowly.
memorized it.
Yeah, right.
Well, your fingers, you want your fingers to memorize it. You don't necessarily want to try it without the music, but you want your fingers to really get into this song and feel comfortable almost memorizing the song with your fingers. All right, next week, no class. It is Christmas
Dawn,
Day. Go ahead.
Dawn, I'm sorry, I was watching the notes. Did you stay on the top keyboard all through?
I did. Now, if you're
Yeah,
going to go to
that's
the
okay.
bottom,
That's
if you're
good.
going to go to the bottom, the Giddy Ups are the
I-
place. That's the place. If you're going to go to the bottom,
Okay.
that would be the place.
But you're not changing your actual sounds. You're just there.
I don't, because
You know,
I don't want to think
No.
any harder.
Yeah, right. It's great. No, that's good.
But if
That's
you go to
good.
the bottom
that makes
keyboard-
it a little easier.
If you go to the bottom keyboard, it will be in the Giddy Ups. And then
Okay.
go back to the
All right.
top keyboard when you go back to the beginning of the song.
Oh.
We will not see you next week. For
Yep.
those people who only come to this class, have a blessed Christmas and a safe and healthy one, please. I don't want anyone getting sick out there. of any kind, the virus or any other kind of sickness. Also, we will meet again New Year's. Is it New Year's Day? Yes, New Year's Day. We will have class, and we will do The Way We Were. Go back to the. I'm skipping Unchained Melody because it's been done and done and done and done. And we will do The Way We Were back in book number 134. Okay?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hey,
You guys-
Dawn,
Yeah.
Dawn,
Yes.
it's Carol. I must be about the only one that has the older version of this that's in the key of F,
Mhm. I can
the
scan
sleigh
you.
ride.
I don't know if I have fingering on that. I do not.
No, I don't need
Um,
fingering.
Okay.
Yeah. But to
Yeah.
me, it looks a little bit easier, you know, F, D minor, G minor, C, F, D, G minor. So,
It's the same process. It's
yeah,
absolutely the same process. And it
right.
is easier because we play more songs in the key of F. So the chords in the key of F are way more familiar to us. So your left hand is actually
Right,
pick
right.
those out a little easier. Yeah.
Now, you don't think there's anything different that you would change at all in the old version?
Nope, I've got everything. Yep,
Good.
the old version is pretty much exactly the same as this version, and without the extraneous notes. They're not even in the old
Right.
version.
No,
So,
they're not. No,
Yep.
they're not there. Okay, thank you. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry
Thank you. Merry
Happy
Christmas
New
to
Year.
everybody.
Merry Christmas, and we'll
Grateful
see you
for
New
your
Year's Day.
that we can do this. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Oh, and be
Merry
on the
Christmas.
watch. There's going to be a surprise Christmas concert from staff next week.
Oh,
It's a surprise, but be on the watch for the emails because it is coming.
okay.
Okay? All right. Very
There's,
good.
there's
I
no,
love you
con-
guys.
there's no concert this afternoon, right?
No concert this afternoon. Nope. Nope.
We can go to the beach.
You can go to the beach. Absolutely. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Love you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Bye, everybody.
Merry
Christmas to all.
Christmas.